Hey guys, ECRG here. Today we're going to be talking about when should you let your coworkers know that you've accepted a new internal position. Hey guys, ECRG here. Today we're going to be talking about when you should let your coworkers know that you've accepted a new internal position. Today we're just going to focus on the internal because I believe that the decorum and the way it works is going to be a little bit different if it's an internal position versus an external position. So normally there's a long process that goes with accepting any new job. Obviously you have to apply for it first. Then usually there's an interview process first. Maybe the internal recruiter at your company is going to ask you some questions or ask you to fill out a questionnaire or want to talk to you on the phone for a few minutes first just to get a gist of you. And then obviously there's the next step. You go on to talk to the hiring manager and either on the phone or in a face-to-face interview format. And of course, depending on the job, there could be many, many steps, maybe even presentations and putting together talks and making business plans, whatever the position is. But as far as from your point of view, when is it diplomatically appropriate to let people know that you've either accepted a new position? Is it even okay to let people know that you've applied to the new position in the first place? Should you let people know? So I'll go over that here in just a second. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So for the first part, should you let people know that you've applied to a position that you're interested in? And there are obviously pros and cons to even letting people know about this because obviously if you apply and don't get it, you may feel a little bit sad or you may feel like they'll be judging you a little bit just because you didn't get it, depending on the size of the company, especially if it's small. People may judge you a little bit. But if it's a big company, a very competitive position, then, there's nothing to really feel bad about. But it's really up to you. There's a lot of games being played in corporate America. There's a lot of politics. So if you're unsure if it's okay to let people know, if you are unsure people are really your friends, I'd say just go with a conservative approach. Don't let them know until you've actually accepted the position, if that's possible. So sometimes it's kind of hard to hide. All of a sudden you come to work dressed up in a suit. People are going to know something's up. All of a sudden, your hair is looking good and you've got, business clothes on. If it's usually like a casual or business casual environment, people are going to know what's up. So I would just try and keep it on the low key and do whatever you can. Maybe go change at lunch or something and, go to your interview and then come back and change back for that matter. So err on the conservative side and don't let people know until you have actually accepted a position. That seems to work well. So that goes to even if you should let people know. It's oftentimes the people that you are closest with, the ones that are going to stab you in the back later on. And I know this is a real problem in corporate America, especially because everyone, may seem like they're friendly, but everyone is just looking out for themselves usually. So you should really be aware of that, because if they know that you're headed in a direction and they want to go in that same direction too, there can obviously be a lot of back and forth and a lot of politics that come into play if they know where you're headed. So I tend to keep those cards close to my chest and would only let people know after the position has already been accepted or I'm far in the interview process and, they're going to find out anyway. So it's better to probably let them know beforehand so they don't feel like, you're hiding something from them, especially if they're your friends or your work friends, that is. So as far as like going through the interview process, do your best to be discreet about it. Also, you want to keep in mind when telling people that other people may have applied for that position in the office and may not have made it as far as you did. So you don't want to make them feel bad. Once again, there's politics. They may be able to slight you in the future. So I wouldn't rub it in people's faces that you made it further or anything like that. You definitely don't want to do that. I obviously speak in a humble way, in a humble manner, and just do your best with that. But you definitely don't want to come down hard on people or make people feel bad about the fact that they may not have made it to the interview process or anything like that. Especially if they've been there longer than you. You guys know the politics, how it is in the corporate environment, or how it can be at least. And people are really, really petty. So all that matters. So as far as accepting a position, when do you let your coworkers know? And that kind of comes down to personal preference, because after you've already accepted the position, it is clear that you're going to be moving into that position. You're going to be moving into that role. And obviously, if you just don't show up to work one day, people are going to be asking, where are you? Where have you been? Or what's going on? Or, if you move to a different department or a different state or something like that. So I'd say pretty much as soon as you accept, you work with these people, you should have a good rapport with these people. So it should really be no problem for you to tell them at that point. There's pretty much nothing they can do after you've already accepted the position to inhibit that or get in your way in any way. So that's when I would recommend telling people that you've accepted an internal position. And, obviously some people are not going to like you leaving, because I'm sure most people, tend to like the people that they work with. And, you just do your best to manage those relationships. As always, we talk about networking on this channel a lot, and this is the perfect time to make sure you keep those contacts. Perfect time to make sure you get those email addresses. Make sure you keep in contact with these people. Whatever you do, whether it's you guys go out monthly to get lunch, or you go out and grab drinks, you want to make sure you keep that network alive, because even though you may be going on to a bigger and better place right now, you never know what's going to happen in 5 to 10 years where people might be. You might be very surprised. Once people start moving around a lot of people are able to rise to the top very quickly. A lot of it depends on who your manager is. It depends on what projects you get put on. It can depend on who you work with. So you want to do your best to really keep those contacts, because you never know where people will be in the next few years. So quick tip there from ECRG. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. If you liked it, go ahead and like it. Please share it with all your homies, all your friends, and go ahead and hit that red subscribe button down below, guys, and hit the notification bell right next to it. YouTube does a lot of funny stuff with unsubscribing people, so I just want to make sure you guys are able to get the content that you guys like. Comment down below 2 things. A, when you think you should tell people that you're moving to a different job internally. And B, what other videos you'd like to see me make down below. Would you like to see more clinical research videos? Would you like to see more just general workplace dynamic videos, or some other type of videos we haven't done yet? A lot more different types of videos coming to the channel, guys. Got a lot more ideas. A lot of people have been messaging at eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com for things they want to see. So hit us up there as well if you want to connect. And that's it for this video, guys. Take care.